Well, here we go, back in Berlin Wharfdale, and this is the second video of a two-part series. Now in the first video I cleaned this block paved driveway. It had a lot of weeds, a lot of moss and a lot of black lichen. And black lichen is also the theme of today's video as well. Now the homeowner was so pleased with the work I did on the driveway, she asked me if I could do a quote for the back garden too. Blimey, it's going to be a big job. Beautiful long views across the Wharf Valley. So just as with the front, we've got quite a lot of block paving here. This time it's been used for a pathway around the garden. And as well as that, we've got a number of these terraced areas which have been paved with both York stone and conventional concrete flags. As can be seen, this area is very dirty indeed, with lots of green algae and other organic staining. This must be really slippery when wet. This upper terrace is paved with concrete flags and these are relatively clean. As we walk down these block paved steps, we find that the area opens up into even more terracing. This is all paved with York stone. The thing about York stone is it gets very dirty and it's very difficult to clean. And I guarantee you that even once I've pressure washed this area, there's going to be a lot of organic staining left behind. Continuing down the garden, we've got lots more block paving. And here by the summer house, we've got yet another terrace, once again made of York stone. I'm expecting this job to take a couple of days. There's a lot to do, so let's get started. The block paving looks as if it's been pressure washed before. I can see horizontal lines going across. That's a telltale sign that this was a DIY job done with a portable pressure washer. Another point that's absolutely obvious is that whoever did clean it last didn't sand it. We've got big open joints between these blocks and there's quite a few weeds here and there. So just pause a minute here. We've got a really common scenario that we see on a lot of jobs. Ordinary concrete paving slabs. I've used the turbo lines to give them a good clean, but we're left with lots of black lichen stains. Now on a large driveway I would use my X-Jet to put down a foam spray over the entire area, but this is really quite a small area. We've also got lots of plants in close proximity, so I'm just going to use a handheld sprayer and apply the same product on a very localized basis. I'm going to leave that then to work to dwell on the surface for maybe 30 minutes or so. So now all this block paving is dried off, we can see just how clean or not it is. And actually it's not too bad. We have got some tiny speckles of black lichen here and there, but these are a rustic coloured block with black patches in the grain of them anyway. So what few traces of black lichen there aren't really showing up particularly badly. Rather than put an alkaline foam down for that immediate clean result, what I'm going to do for this block paved area is put down a bio soft wash. And what a biocide does is that it will kill any organic growth there and start a self-cleansing process, which over the coming weeks and months will make the blocks appear to get cleaner and cleaner and cleaner. It'll also keep them looking cleaner for longer. So I've just circled back round to these concrete flags. All the black spot is gone now. They're as clean as a whistle. The York stone is very dense, pretty soft and very porous. It's one of the most difficult outdoor surfaces to clean. Lichens absolutely love this stuff and move in lock, stock and barrel. They literally take up residence within the stone itself. The trouble is, even with steam cleaning and chemical treatment, we'll be left with artifacts in the stone itself, almost like ghost marks that just no amount of cleaning will shift. On this terrace I've got a perfect location for doing a side-by-side comparison. I'm going to use every trick in the book on this top level and I'm going to do nothing at all for the lower level. We'll be able to see the two areas side by side throughout the whole process, and I think this is going to be pretty interesting. On the one hand, we've got this weathered area down here, which doesn't have much organic growth at all. And elsewhere, we've got large colonies of black lichen, so much so that in some areas it covers the entire surface. Other issues that I'm going to need to pay attention to are the pointing. It looks pretty solid, but there are lots of cracks in it, so this, I would imagine, is quite fragile in places. And because Yorkstone is a sedimentary sandstone, it's quite prone to delaminating. So whilst delamination can be difficult to avoid, we don't really want to make it any worse. Now, normally when I'm cleaning Yorkstone, I make a point of telling customers not to expect a 100% success with the black lichen. That covers me, and it also means that they're unlikely to be disappointed. It was about now, whilst editing the video, that I came to realise that I had a small disaster on my hands. I spent almost an entire day filming without switching on my microphone. This obviously put an end to all of my commentary, but unfortunately it also killed the story a little bit as well. But I don't like letting problems get in my way, so I'll carry on with this voiceover and explain how I got the job finished. After first cutting around the edges with the lance fitted with the fan tip nozzle, I then switched over to using my Whirlaway flat surface cleaner. It's a great bit of kit and allows you to cover a lot of area very quickly. Beneath its stainless steel body, it's got two rotary jets which are fitted about an inch above the surface being cleaned. These spin around really fast and allow you to get a large area covered pretty quickly. And as you can see, because of all the steam, a flat surface cleaner can also deliver hot water at very high temperatures. Using heat really cuts through the dirt and grime, and it also kills off a lot of the microorganisms that make up the biofilm. It's this that causes your outdoor surfaces to become discoloured. After a good rinse down with cold water, we can see that there's still quite a lot of staining on the flags below. Time to fire up the X-Jet and get some deep clean foam over the whole area. The chemicals will dissolve away a lot of the stains and really soften up those lichens. These take a good half an hour to be effective, and during this time I can be getting on with work elsewhere. So I move on to cleaning the stonework around the fish pond. And once again I'm using lots of steam so as to really help the chemicals on their way. The fish pond used to be heavily stocked with koi carp, but as I mentioned earlier on, the otters found it one day and scoffed the lot of them. Apparently one of them was absolutely huge and worth over £10,000. As I circle back round to the terrace and the ongoing chemical treatment, it's time to give it a good wash down with water again. And just as we saw a huge improvement after the steam cleaning, we're seeing a similar thing again after the chemical treatment. It's really starting to look a lot lighter and brighter now. With a lot of the dirt and grime removed, it's now time to up the ante. And here you can see me going over the area again with a more concentrated deep clean solution. And as can be seen, I'm using a bucket and a brush to do this so that I can agitate it at the same time. Also because it's safer. So there we've got an incredible side-by-side comparison with some amazing before and after footage. I see conditions like this quite frequently, but in my experience Yorkstone is by far the most difficult surface to clean, especially so when it's infested with black lichen. As mentioned earlier, this job was a two-parter. If you'd like to see the video for part 1, please click on the link appearing now. And if you've enjoyed watching along, please use the like button and consider subscribing to the channel. Until the next job, all the best to all of you.